So, what is a subject? That's the question. In a sentence. We know that English language has the sentence structure. What? Subject, verb and object, right? But what is subject? Subject is a fundamental grammatical component of a sentence. It's a grammatical component. We need subject, right? It can be, subject can be a noun, it can be name, it can be pronoun, names such as Ram, Shyam, Hari, Michael, a chair and so on. It can be a pronoun. For example, it, he, she, they. These are pronouns. These words can become subject. And what do? These words, they are the ones that perform action. They are the ones that perform the actions. That's the important part, okay? These are the ones that performs the actions. So in a sentence, the word that performs the action is the subject. Can we repeat that again? In a sentence, the word that performs the action is the subject of that sentence. For example, I eat rice. What's the action? Eat is the action. I eat rice, right? I eat rice. Eat is the action. And the one who performs eating, the one who does it, who is doing that? I is doing that. Who is doing that? I. Therefore, I is called as the subject. Okay. So, in order to find a subject, the main thing is to find the action, right? The first thing to be done is to find the action of the sentence. The first thing is to be done is to find the action. The verb. Action is represented by a word called as verb. Verb, right? Verb represents action. So subject can be called as doer. Subject is the doer, the one who does. The one who does, Baba. The one who does is called as the doer. The one who does. What can we say? Doer is the one who does, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Is it clear? Yes. So in a sentence, if you want to find out the subject, the first thing is to do is
find the action.
Find the action. Yes. Find the action and then question yourself, who is doing this action? What should you question? Who is doing it? Yes. For example, Raja. Saroj is sleeping. Who is the subject? What's the subject? Saroj is sleeping. Saroj sleeping. Who is doing the sleeping action? Saroj is doing it. So, and subject, of course, it depends on whether it's singular, whether it's plural, and all of that. Depending on on the number, we use verb accordingly. Okay. Subject-verb agreement, that will be done in the next class. For example, here, John is reading a book. John is reading a book. John is reading a book. What's the subject? What's the verb? Reading, verb. Who is doing it? John. John is doing it, subject. And what is John reading? Book. And that's the object. Subject, verb, object. right? Subject, verb, object. Similarly, let's look at the next sentence. The big red ball rolled down the hill. The big red ball rolled down the hill. Let's have a look at this sentence here. So, what's the action? Rolling. That's the action. And who is doing that rolling? Verb. The big red ball. Ball is rolling, right? So that's actually the subject. But the big red. Big and red. What are they doing? They are describing the ball. So you can say that the whole thing is subject. The big red ball is rolling. So the big red ball is subject. So this is how you figure out what? Subject of a sentence. Okay. Now let's take one sentence here. It is raining outside. Let's have a look at this sentence. It is raining heavily outside. This is a challenging question. A challenge. A challenge. A challenge. Now, what's the action here? Raining is the action. Right? Yes. Raining is the action. But who is raining? What is it? Can you say something about who is the doer here? Who is the doer here, Baba? Can there be someone raining? Can I be raining?
No.
The water is raining. Is there anything that rains? Do we ever say the water is raining? In Nepali, we say pani pariraheko cha. Right? So there are some tricky situations where it can be challenging to find the subject. But in fact, here, it's not really the subject, but we need a subject. That's why we put it. What do we do? It. It is the subject. What is this? Subject. Raining is the verb. Alright? Similarly, now, the next task is to find the subject of some more interesting sentences. Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's take some interesting sentences and find the subject of the sentence.